This Formula One car is doing 340 kilometers an hour, and it's slowing down. His foot is flat to the floor. Nothing on this car is broken. It's happening to every team at every race this season. And once you see why, you can't unsee it. That deceleration has a name in the paddock, and this year it's practically a curse word. Melbourne, round 1. The run to turn 9 became an instant meme. Cars visibly dying 200 meters before anyone touched the brakes. A week later, Suzuka. Same story on the approach to 130R, one of the fastest corners on Earth. This is not one bad circuit. It is baked into the 2026 formula itself. It has made qualifying laps look broken. It has made a 4-time world champion so publicly frustrated that people are seriously asking whether he'll walk away from Formula One entirely. So here's the question. This entire video exists to answer. What force on Earth slows a 1,000 horsepower car with the throttle pinned to the floor? Let's rule out what it isn't. Suspect 1. The brakes. Here's the actual telemetry channel. Brake pressure, flat 0, the entire length of the straight. Nobody is braking. Eliminated. Suspect 2. Driver error. Someone backing off, getting it wrong. Except the throttle trace says full commitment. And this isn't one driver having a bad day. It's all 20 of them, every weekend, in identical spots. 20 of the best drivers alive don't make the same mistake in the same place at the same time. Eliminated. Suspect 3. Mechanical failure. These cars aren't breaking down. They're finishing, winning, and setting fastest laps minutes after doing that. Eliminated. Suspect 4. Fuel saving. Now, you're warm. Saving something is exactly what's happening, but it isn't fuel. The thing these cars are rationing is worth about 470 horsepower, and the number that controls it never appears on your screen. The answer lives in a number the broadcast doesn't show you. Meet the 2026 power unit. Roughly half of everything this car has is electric now, about 470 horsepower of it. And these new engines can deploy around 3 times more electrical energy than the old generation ever could. Which sounds incredible. Until you understand the budget. Think of the battery as a bank account. Every straight is spending, every braking zone is earning. And here is the entire problem in one sentence. The straights are long and the braking zones are short. These cars can spend electricity far faster than they can ever earn it back. So picture the lap as a budget line. Down the straight, spend, spend, spend. The account empties before the straight does, and the instant it hits 0, half the car's power simply vanishes, not gradually. A cliff. The engine is still perfect. The driver is still flat out. The car slows anyway, because the budget ran out. The paddock's name for hitting that cliff is clipping. And now that you have the word, the season gets much, much stranger. But running out of energy is the version you can see. There's a second version. One team's trigger on purpose. A trick so extreme, the FIA called emergency meetings over it. And this same physics produced a crash that turned an annoyance into a safety crisis. Both of those in a minute. Because first, you need to see why drivers can't just charge the battery more. Why not just recover more energy? Because earning has a speed limit too. The car only charges meaningfully when it's slowing down, and a lap simply doesn't contain enough braking. A few seconds of earning has to fund kilometers of spending. The math never balances, so teams found the loophole. If the braking zones won't give you enough energy, invent more slowing. Drivers now lift off the throttle early. They coast. They even downshift on straights, on purpose, turning parts of the fastest racetracks on Earth into charging stations. Driving deliberately slower now to be faster later. Which means there are 2 kinds of slow in 2026. The involuntary kind, clipping, the empty account. And the voluntary kind, drivers driving weird on purpose, banking energy. Same lap, opposite reasons. And it gets stranger. Reporting from the race described a qualifying lap in China, where Charles Leclerc eased off the pedal slightly. And that tiny input tripped a software threshold that made the power unit limit its own deployment. Leclerc called it silly. Think about that. These cars are now so complicated, they can confuse themselves. Now, the on-purpose trick I promised. Push harvesting logic to its limit, and you get qualifying's dirty secret. Laps where the car spends whole seconds running far below its potential speed, deliberately, because the energy math says the slow line through the lap is the fast one. The paddock calls the extreme version super clipping. That's what dragged the people who run this sport into a room. Mid-season. April. Crisis meetings between the FIA, the teams, and the engine manufacturers, targeting exactly what you've just learned: energy management and those closing speeds. The fix arrived by Miami, and it's beautifully simple to read now that you speak the language. Recharge per qualifying lap, capped. Down from 8 megajoules to 7, roughly a 12.5% cut in what cars can earn, with the stated target of squeezing superclipping down to around 2 to 4 seconds per lap. And the maximum power during those weird phases went up, from 250 to 350 kilowatts. So when the strangeness happens, it at least happens faster. Did it work? Partially. Qualifying got slower on paper, but cleaner in practice. And the FIA has called the season's rollout operationally successful. But here's the twist nobody expected. Formula One's own bosses say the fans they've surveyed actually like this racing. Multiple battery-powered attacks per lap, more passing, more chaos. So the drivers hate the homework. The engineers are patching it live, and the audience might be having fun. Is this formula broken or just new? I genuinely don't think the sport knows yet. Tell me where you land in the comments. I read everyone, so here's what you now own that most viewers don't. 3 tells. Next race you watch, look for them. 1. The speed readout falls on a straight and no braking marker appears. That's clipping. The account just hit 0. You'll spot it within a lap. 2. A driver lifts, coasts, or downshifts way before the corner. Nothing's wrong. He's earning, banking energy, sacrificing this straight to weaponize the next one. 3. The counterattack. One car slows to harvest. The car behind stays full and pounces with boost. That's not a mistake you're watching. That's the entire chess match of 2026, playing out at 300 kilometers an hour. Spot all 3 in one race, and you're no longer watching the same sport as the person next to you. The secret speed limit was never the engine. It's a budget. And now you can see it being spent in real time. But the battery isn't even the strangest thing about this formula. That would be the button. The one that replaced DRS, a boost drivers can fire almost anywhere. That's rewriting what overtaking even means. That's the next video.